Hi, I'm Alan Wilder, ex-member of the well-known group Depeche Mode. It is true, I have made my entire vinyl and CD collection available. It's going on a special auction on 18th of August, 11 AM at Beat the Clock Records, which is in Palmyra Square in Hove, just off Church Street, anyone who knows Hove. It's a great collection. My first record, I think, was Man Who Sold the World by David Bowie in about 1973, and it goes through my entire sort of teenage years through to when I joined Mute, up with Mute, and there's loads of Mute rarities within the collection and everything else, you know, all kinds of bits and pieces, so I hope you'll enjoy that. So get down there and have fun.
Warning! Warning! Alan Wilder, fanboy alert! Warning! Warning!
Well, this just came out of the blue. Big shock, big surprise, almost fell off my chair. Alan Wilder surfaced on a video for the first time in ages. The last time we'd seen any sort of photographic evidence of Alan was around about 2010, 2011, around about the time when he played keyboards or piano for Depeche Mode at the Royal Albert Hall, and then he went on to do his Recoil, the strange hour in Budapest and all that. But we haven't seen or heard much from Alan for a long time. So this video was a real shock and a real surprise. Of course, when it did pop up, my social media was lit up like a Christmas tree. Direct messages, emails, all kinds of stuff. Vaughn, have you seen this? And I was like, hell yeah, I've seen this. So what is this all about? Alan Wilder has made his record collection available for sale. That's right, Alan Wilder's original record collection, everything from his very first vinyl record, along with dozens or actually hundreds of other CDs, vinyl, for a total collection of up to 4,000 pieces. That is all available now for sale. So me being me, I do not leave any stone unturned. So I got in touch with Stuart from Beat the Clock Records. And in this chat, we're going to be talking all about this exclusive sale, which takes place on the 18th of August in Hove in England. Enjoy. Mr. Stuart Avis from Beat the Clock Records. It's very good to meet you, sir.
Very good to meet you too, Vaughn. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks. I appreciate you coming on at such short notice, but you did say that your store's closed on Wednesdays. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. Closed Wednesday. So picked a perfect day. I can just twiddle my thumbs and do interviews with YouTube sensations.
Oh, God. I'll send you that tenner later.
You're very well. Thank you.
Well, you say when you're closed on Wednesdays, does that mean you're open every other day?
I am. Yeah. Even Sundays, which is because I share the premises with a barber's, but they're closed Sundays. So that made sense to do this sale on a Sunday because it's not going to interfere with them. It means I can utilize space a bit more. You know, the regular stock could be put out the back, out into the barbers, out the way, and just have all Alan's stuff out in the shop. So nobody's got to sort through like, oh, is this Alan's? Is that everything's going to be Alan's in the main shop? So it's nice for everyone.
And that's perfectly coming into what this video is about. And I must say, when I made the announcement on my Facebook page the other day, there were a lot of people commenting and tagging you. So it shows me you're quite well known in the industry.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a huge Depeche Mode fan since 1981, since the Chart Hits 81 album come out. One of those classic K-Tel buy one get volume 2 free LPs, and Just Can't Get Enough was on there, and amongst some other great bands as well. You had OMD, Human League. You know, there's a little section on there which is synth pop heaven, and that was my introduction to Depeche Mode, and it's just never stopped, really. I mean, sat in the room right now where, I mean, many people will probably be aware of the Depeche Mode cover band Speak and Spell. And that started in this very room. Did the first programming in here on running Windows XP sort of throwing coal into Cubase VST to try and make something that sounded like World in My Eyes in here. Yeah, I mean, first band I ever saw in concert. In fact, this was the support band, Hardcore, at the time on the Music for the Masses tour in Brighton, '88. So I can totally understand the fans' anticipation with this, you know, and how much they would love to get their hands on some of this stuff, because their world is a world I inhabit too. So yeah, it's going to be great to, you know, worst case scenario, I'll get to chat to a load of Depeche Mode fans for a day. That works for me.
You're going to need a lot of Red Bulls, but
well, yes.
I know. Okay, so let's get on to that. So first things first, and it's not a rude question, it's just a straightforward question. Why did Alan choose you? Do you know Alan, or?
Well, yeah. Well, we have. I know Paul Kendall, and he knew about my shop, and he knew I was into the whole Mute Records thing. And obviously, those familiar with Recoil will know that Paul works very closely with Alan on that. And so he just contacted me and said, Alan's looking to sell. Would you be interested in taking a look? So perfect. Yeah, why not? So went to his house, had a look through the collection. It's great. Made an offer, and Alan liked the fact that I was a sort of indie guy, you know, and clearly into the Mute stuff, and I guess kind of saw a kindred spirit in a way. And so that was it. Yeah, yeah.
And I must ask you, was this the first time you'd met Alan Wilder?
No, but I didn't bring it up. I did meet him at a Gary Newman show. That was 2010, I think, at the Dome in Brighton. And just said hello, got a quick photo, and he was very nice and very amiable chap. And that was that, really, sort of ships that passed in the night kind of thing. But it was lovely to meet him, and yeah, he's a very down to earth guy, you know, just loving life.
Yeah,
really.
No airs and graces. Yeah,
no, of course, yeah, no ego, nothing. No. You know, I didn't get the full Elton when he answered the door. There was none of that. You know, it was great. Yeah, it was so. I mean, it's wonderfully ordinary. I mean, Alan's story for selling is one that you hear as a second-hand record shop owner. You hear this story weekly, almost daily. You know. It's not really anything for fans to have any concern about or anything like that. It's just one of those simple things that so many people do as they get older. They downsize. They, you know, as Alan said in his own statement on the Recoil page, you can't take it with you. And that's really it. It's a wonderfully ordinary story, really.
And it's a great opportunity now for fans, Depeche Mode fans, Alan Wilder fans, to get you know, part of his history. Can I just read the statement that you put out? And this is from the Mute Records website, which they shared.
Okay.
Yeah, this is see you there, BTC. So I assume that'll be you.
That's me. Yeah.
And your statement is. We are pleased to announce the exclusive sale of the personal record and CD collection of Alan Wilder. Alan was an integral part of electronic pioneers Depeche Mode through the 80s and into the 90s, before moving full-time into the sonic explorations of Recoil. This collection, that I assume that's going to go on sale now, this collection features around 4,000 items, ranging from the classical albums played at the family home of his childhood, through to the likes of Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin in his teens and beyond. There is also a sizable amount of rarities from the Mute Records archives. Please note, there are no Depeche Mode or Recoil items. Alan has plans for those at a later date, but his collection is packed very full of very well looked after gems. Alan has very kindly agreed to make a short video announcing the sale at the first opportunity. We will be posting it as soon as possible, and that, of course, was the video we saw. And can I just say, it set the internet ablaze, because we haven't seen Alan. We haven't actually seen any photos or anything of him since about 2011. And I was sitting in my studio, and when that video, I almost fell off my chair. You know, we've got the whole Alan Wilder fanboy thing on the channel. You know, with the siren. when I
Of
used to
course.
do, when I did
Yeah.
when I did the album reviews, there were some people that don't like the fact that I give Alan so much credit, and they go, "Oh, you're such a fanboy." So I've made that a thing. The whole idea of this video is not only to meet your good self, but just to get some more clarity about this. As you said in your statement there are over 4,000 pieces. Now, it's worth mentioning in his video where Alan's looking, don't sound like a fanboy, looking really, really well and very, very healthy. We were all glad to see that. He mentioned the word auction, but I think we have to be clear that it's not actually an auction, it's a sale.
That's right. Yes, yes. In fact, when Alan sent me the video in that email, he does apologise for saying auction by mistake. Yeah, it's I don't know. I guess because previously, like for example, with the collected auctions, I guess that's just what he's done in the past. So he's probably just naturally gone to that.
Yes.
As
Yes. I think the
classic
word
bit
is
of
just in his.
error.
I think the word was just in the back of his mind. But thinking if it was an auction, it would be a hell of a long day with 4,000
Well,
pieces.
exactly. Yes. Yeah. And I dread to. I have no idea how we would actually physically be able to do that in the shop. I am a small indie. I haven't got a massive HMV or anything. It's. Yeah. So logistically, it just wouldn't be possible. There are a few items. I've got a few bits here that I was going to show you, give you a little taster.
As I say, this is your video to speak about as much. The more detail, the better. But of course, I don't want to pry or anything. So the floor is yours. Go for it, sir.
Well, okay, yeah. So I mean, there are a few items that really are just impossible to put a price on. Of course, I mean, we've also chosen not to be greedy or profiteering with this. A £1 CD is still a £1 CD. A £10 album will still be a £10 album. But there are some things that are,
rare.
How do you even begin to price them? For example, so here's probably the best place to start. As Alan mentions in his video, his collection started with The Man Who Sold the World. Now, here I have that LP.
That's his very first LP that he ever bought. He mentions
the very first LP, and it's as wonderful, as you see in many teenage collections, sellotaped across the top here. Well loved. I don't know if you can see.
See perfectly. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Alan Wilder written on there as well, which he did on a lot of his teenage records. We've got there's a bunch of those, probably a couple of dozen or so, and in fact it's quite interesting. You can clearly see that he started buying records in 1973. Actually, once you start going through the collection, because
and sorry to cut you off there just a second, Stuart. I'm not telling you how to run your business. You're obviously an expert. I'm just saying to you is something like that. I wouldn't know how to put a price onto that either. So I'm almost saying to you, don't sell it. I don't know, and we can check with the guys watching the videos, guys. If you want to leave your comments below, and it's stabbing in the dark. It's because you might value it. It's look. I don't want to speak for you because we've just met, but I know the feeling. You don't know what it's worth, but you know it's worth a lot. But then you don't want to undervalue it, but you don't want to come up with something ridiculous because you know what people are like, because I as my YouTube channel, it's a business, it's my livelihood. And sometimes people, they'll accuse you of being a bastard. You know what I mean? And it's like, this is my job. This is my job. So I understand that sensitivity of not knowing what to price it. But that, I'm telling you, and you don't need me to tell you this, that is worth its weight in gold. That is officially, and I'm actually, sorry guys, fanboy alert. That is Alan Wilder's very first record, which he bought.
Yes, yeah. So, I mean, we're sort of looking at options for that. One idea was, over the course of the day, people could maybe write down a figure they would be willing to pay with a phone number, and then we could maybe sort of phone the winning bidder, if you like, at 3 o'clock or something like that, and say, congratulations, come down, collect it. It's not one, because where do you even begin to price it?
I think that's a good idea, Stuart. And once again, it's, I'm just speaking to you as on the fly here, none of my business, but I think something like that it's a good idea. We did this at shout out to my band that I'm in, Mesh. We did
Yeah.
this thing where they were we had Richard uses these old keyboards from Control, and I said, look, Matt, we've got to upgrade this thing anyway. And we put it on the merch desk for at one of the shows, and I think that's how they did it. Was people came and they made like an offer, and at the end, it collected quite a sizable amount. But I think with something like this, that would be a good idea, just to say this is available. People can make their offers there. But then even with that, possibly don't even make the decision. Give it a few days or a week or whatever. You know what I mean? Because because what you're sitting on there is absolute gold.
Yeah, that's very true. And in fact, there's probably something even more unique in a way, which I was about to show you next, which now happens to the best of us. You lose an album cover, or it gets damaged or anything, especially as a young lad. But Alan's tastes actually were, his early days there are very sort of rock orientated. And so here is a Jimi Hendrix album. Now this one, he's obviously lost the sleeve,
and he's wrote it all himself.
Written it all out himself, made his own custom sleeve, picture of Jimmy on the back. Completely unique item. Where do you even begin?
Well, I think those are two of the items which he mentioned in his video. He did mention his very first David Bowie album, and he mentioned the Jimi Hendrix one as well. So I don't know. As I say, it'll be interesting to see what guys leave your comments below, and if you're able to make it to this event. Unfortunately, Stuart, I'm actually flying out. I've got to get this video edited and uploaded just before, and I'm off to the airport. I'm flying back to the UK. But my return flight was already booked back, and I've actually tried to look at extending it and coming to your event, but I'm afraid I won't be able to make it. But I would love it. Okay, so 4,000 pieces and with some rare gems that you've showed. Is there something else you may want to show us, or you want to keep the surprises for the day?
Well, yeah, I mean, as I was saying, you can sort of clearly see that his collection started around 1973, because there are some very big giveaways in there. He's got tubular bells, like everybody else that bought records in 73. Not one, but two copies of Dark Side of the Moon, which makes perfect sense, given Alan's role in the band.
Yes.
But something, with the sonic detail of production and, an album like that, it's going to be obviously an influence. And of course, 73 was very much a year for prog. And so he has, of course, Genesis Selling England by the Pound album, which is a fantastic record from the Peter Gabriel era. But there's electronic stuff as well. It's interesting, though, the CD collection really points more to Recoil than Depeche Mode, I would say. So there's a lot of things like film soundtracks, avant-garde and ambient stuff in there. The bulk of the collection is actually CD, but vinyl just shows up better on video. So that's why I'm showing you vinyl now, because it's, there are some electronics. I mean, this is a nice piece for any fan that, I guess a lot of Depeche Mode fans will have this album already, but the first proper Tube by Army, if you like. But it's not just that. It's got inside, which many won't have, is the absolute mint condition poster that come with it. Never been on a wall. If you do ever see the poster that comes with it, it's usually got sellotape in the corner or something, and that's just, it could have come off the press yesterday. It's all very well looked after. It's in, and something actually which I think fans might be interested in as well. Alan, as we probably know from the Bloodline album, is that he's a big big Alex Harvey fan. And so, of course, the next album is in there, which, of course, includes the original Faith Healer there, which would be quite nice for someone to have, I think, given the connection further along. And Knights of Red fans will probably want that too, maybe.
And this is this is a how long's a piece of string question, Stuart.
Yeah.
How many? I think you're going to have a very good turnout on the 18th.
Yes. We've got sort of plans in place, because there's we've got ideas in place. We don't know if we're going to have to execute them on the day or not yet, but basically, obviously, it would be awful if the first few people through the door bought everything.
Yeah, this is the thing.
Yeah, I'd hate that because, as I say, the Depeche Mode fan world is a world I inhabit too. So I'd be gutted if I went and got nothing. So what we're going to do on the day, we're going to gauge the queue, have a look. If it is round the block, then there'll be something like maybe a 20 item maximum.
Yeah.
Just to make sure everybody gets something. And then, perhaps they're welcome to come back at say 2 or 3 o'clock for a second go, but we just want everybody that's initially turned up to be able to come away with something, and then we can look at sort of people gathering more if they want.
I think that's very sensible, and I think you've obviously got the best intention, and at the end of the day, you're just going to do your best. I don't foresee any sort of you get those videos online of all the Black Friday scenes with people running. I don't
TVs and stuff.
Yeah. I doubt we'd get that from the Depeche Mode fan, but really, as I say, this has been quite short notice, really, because this video only came up about a week ago, didn't it?
Yes, so July 31st, the 31st anniversary of the Crystal Palace show, which is UK's claim to, it's our Rose Bowl equivalent.
Yeah. Okay, so there was that a coincidence, or was that date chosen because of
pure coincidence? Yeah, I woke up in the morning, checked my emails, and there it was. So I thought, well, I better get a move on then, really. So yeah, it just so happened to be that day. And I won't lie, I've just spent the last half hour rummaging through the wardrobe trying to find my old Crystal Palace concert shirt, but I couldn't find it. So because I thought that would have been a nice fit for this, but question or not, is it going to fit now?
Well, so you've really got your hands full, and as we're talking about this, I'm absolutely gutted that I can't be there, but I'll be with you in spirit. In spirit, I'll be there. I think also, and one of the ideas of this video is just to answer as many questions as possible, and we've answered a big question already, which is it's not an auction, it's a sale. One of the big questions as well is Alan going to be there? He's not. If you want to just elaborate on that.
Unfortunately, Alan can't be there. He's a very, very busy chap, and so it's just going to be just a regular shop day, really, but with a big queue of Depeche Mode fans. But Alan, he is busy and is unable to make it. But I feel that he's done wonders already for the shop. I have bought collections before from well-known musicians who have chosen to remain anonymous, and so that has just been stock in the shop, really. As grateful as I am for it, so I think Alan has already gone above and beyond anyway, and with what he's done, and he's really my phone just didn't stop Wednesday, the ping and it's just turned things around and just done wonders for us. So I'll just be eternally grateful for that, really. So
oh, that's great. So you say you've got 4,000 pieces there. So you've had to sort of catalogue them all, and
well, at the moment we've been going through pricing because it looked like such a huge mountain to climb that it wasn't actually being catalogued. Now I'm kicking myself because it would have been nice to have done that, just to have had a record of his collection, really. So if I can get done in time, I'm gonna try and put some kind of list together, even if it's just perhaps a video flicking through it or something, just something that's a keepsake of what was there as a whole thing. So that's something I'd like to do, because I know fans would be curious. I mean, we've all done it. We've gone around friends' houses and we make a beeline straight away for their record collections, just to see what they've got, and conversation pieces there. So it would be definitely of interest to a lot of people. So I'd like to find a quick, easy way of having a memento of the whole thing, which I think video might be the quickest at the moment.
Yes. Oh, I think so. Yeah, just put a video and just scan everything, just film everything with the video. So this is just to confirm, this is Sunday the 18th at your record store in Hull from 11 a.m.
In Hove. Yes.
Sorry, Hove. What did I say? Did I say Helm? Sorry, in Hove.
Yeah.
In Hove. Guys,
Yeah.
I will put a link in the description as well as a little Google pin with the address and everything. So you're going to have a busy day.
It's going to be a very busy day. Yes. Yeah. Hopefully. Anyway, if it's one man and his dog, it'll be me crying in a corner. But if it's a queue around the block of Depeche Mode fans and just curious record collectors as well, actually, because it's not strictly, it's not strictly stuff that would just appeal to Depeche Mode fans. There's punk stuff in there. There's a lot of classical. I mean, this collection ranges from Tchaikovsky to Slayer. It's everything. I mean, and it's all the best of everything as well. He's got there's no Agadoo isn't in there. It's all good stuff. So even if you're not a Depeche Mode fan, you will come down and you will find something collectible there. Of interest, and all in great shape. There's some of the earlier stuff he played as a teen. Was played by a teenager, and we didn't always look after our records as well as we could have done at that age. But in general, though, I'd say 90% of it is absolutely fantastic, pristine stuff. So, yeah.
I think we fans of Depeche Mode and Alan we always know Alan had such a discerning taste, and as often on interviews and stuff, he would drop a name of something that he was influenced by. I'd always have to go look it up because there's sometimes obscure stuff. So it really is. And also, if we look at, I don't want to turn this into a music production thing now, but if you're a musician, you'll appreciate this. A lot of the, especially sort of, I'd say from Songs of Faith and from Music for the Masses sort of onwards, there was a lot of sampling and sounds taken from records through Violate and stuff, lots of sampling. And I just learned recently, which was interesting, on the Depeche Mode WikiLeaks, they've got that page very, very well catalogued, and they were talking about the sound that was sampled for the song Halo, that I always thought it sounded like a ship's horn, and it was actually a ship's horn. So there was this, I'm actually going to do a video on that, but there was this bizarre, with Alan, there was this bizarre combination between a huge, vast taste in music, good music taste, but then also this really thinking out of the box, all this, an all-encompassing musical soul, as I like to talk about him as.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely a sort of musical magpie, if you like. Looking at the breadth of this collection, just the sheer eclecticism of what's there, and I mean, because Depeche Mode themselves, it's almost a disservice to simply call them a synth pop band. There's so much more going on in there, and you can hear filmic stuff in there. Something like Little 15. Is you wouldn't dream of calling that a synth pop song, but you can see why synth fans would like it. It's so wonderfully varied. As I say, a lot of, in the CDs particularly, there's a lot of ambient and avant-garde stuff. There's a box kind of like this, which is just Philip Glass albums, which I'm sort of looking at thinking, I quite like a lot of his stuff, but I've got to be good and not keep it, But
give the fans first choice.
Exactly. For the record, I've only kept one for myself, so as a keepsake, and it kind of brought things full circle. Actually, these guys, Hardcore, it was one of their 12-inch singles, and it was the only one I didn't have. So I thought, complete the collection. They're the first band I technically saw because they were supporting Mode, so it just made sense that would be the one I'd keep. We were actually also, while I was visiting Alan, we were finally able to put a myth to bed, if you like, because some fans say yes, it was him, and some say no. But you see here, I have the Reel to Reel album, which I got in a second-hand record shop probably 1987, 88, something like that. And so we were finally able to confirm or deny from the man himself. And as you can see, he has signed it to Stu from Alan there.
Charlie. Is that Charlie? Yeah. Did you say Charlie? Yeah. Is that? Oh, I don't know. Don't know if it's.
Best wishes.
It says Alan. Sorry,
Yeah.
get my glasses on.
Up straight to the middle name.
Yeah, it's just Stu. Yeah, that's right.
So of course I was able to finally get him to confirm for 100% definite, and he obviously signed the record as well.
Okay, well, there we go. Okay, there's so I was a bit slow on the uptake there, but thank you.
No worries, because this is pre-Depeche Mode, and I remember once back in the sort of early Speak and Spell days, I did put a post on a forum, and we were going to play on this radio show a track from Reel to Reel, when everyone was going, "No, that's not him. He only did Daphne and the Tender Spots and all this kind of stuff." And I was like, well, "No, I think it is him." But there you go. So now we have the truth.
Oh, that's great, and you're going to have a busy day, my friend. So if everything doesn't sell out on the day, then you're going to have stuff left over, which will just remain as normal stock.
Yes, yeah. I mean, we'll keep those in separate boxes. So if, for example, if there's some new wave albums, they won't get put straight into the new wave section. They'll be kept as Alan Wilder boxes for the time being. But that's also when we might be able to kind of look at doing something online, because it's going to be a more manageable amount.
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, Stuart, keep me in the loop. As I say, I'm not trying to say I'm definitely not Depeche Mode Central or Alan Wilder Central, but we are, we are very. It goes without saying, we've done the time and the love, and I'm always happy to get involved and promote anything that is part of the family, if you know what I mean.
Yes, yeah. Oh, actually, also something we're looking at doing, because just to give it a bit of authenticity, really, when people are buying this, because at the moment that could be anybody's copy of replicas. So we are getting stickers made, which will say the Alan Wilder collection at Beat the Clock. It's designed, it's ready. Literally just shopping around at the moment for a good price to get those printed, and we're going to put them on the CDs straight away, because a dual case is a dual case, obviously.
Yes, true.
But then we'll have a roll of them, and people can decide whether they actually want to. Because when people buy records from my shop, they get the protective sleeve as well. I'm quite keen on how people look after their records as well, and so they'll have the option then to either put it directly onto the sleeve or onto the protective sleeve if they want. Because I know some people might not want to put things on the record, but in this case, maybe it's a little bit different. But I'll leave that for the choice for the customer.
That's great. I think you know better than I do, Stuart, especially when it comes to vinyl. People become very, very discerning and very, very, very particular.
Oh, tell me about it. Yes. Every day. Yes.
Well, Stuart, as I say, I'm so gutted I can't make it, because I was planning to come down and do some filming. That would have been a lot of fun. But if you've got someone there who can just do some filming on a camera phone or something, and share the footage with me afterwards, some of it, just I'd love to be involved and somehow in spirit, so to speak. So don't be shy. Just give me a shout.
No. Don't be shy.
Okay, guys. So there you have it. This is Stuart from Beat the Clock Records at his exclusive. This is the only place in the world. Of course, it can only be in one place in the world. This is Alan Wilder's original record collection. Everything from his first vinyl up until who knows what. 4,000 pieces for sale at Beat the Clock Records in Hove on Sunday, the 18th of August at 11 a.m. Did I get that all right?
That's absolutely perfect. Yeah.
No auto cue.
Palmyra Square Hove. Palmyra Square Hove.
Right.
Yeah. We are. Oh, that's something actually that should probably highlight is we are below street level. Now, it's not in a basement or anything like that, but you do have to go downstairs. Okay. Now, unfortunately, there isn't a way round that. So I guess this is something we need to address if anybody's coming in a wheelchair or something like that.
Okay. Worth mentioning. Thank you for that, Stuart.
Yeah.
But you're going to have a good time. You're going to have a good time, and I'm gonna have some of my fly on the wall kind of friends are going to go there. And I'm sure they're going to be give me all the info from the ground. So I really wish you all the best with it, Stuart. And I thank you so much for talking to me. I will make an effort to come and see you when I'm in the UK again. Not this time, but next time. I'm doing a flying visit this time, but next time I'd love to come and have a beer with you.
That'd be great. I believe we've got a lot of mutual friends as well. So
absolutely, it's a small world, isn't it? The circles are quite small.
Very small world. The Tenet guys used to come along to our gigs. We go and see them. A lot of the synth world is sort of on your doorstep without even realizing until you take that step out the door. And it's great. Really good community down here for music as well. Brilliant.
Great. Now, I must say, I don't represent the music community, but on behalf of I would like to say on behalf of the music community, thank you for what you're doing and keeping music real, and keeping music tactile and physical. Lots of love, Stuart. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you.
Thank you, Vaughn. It's been a pleasure. Take care.
All the best. Bye-bye.